Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you're so motivated to do so. This is Wonders of a Black Woman. Now, we all know that Kamala Harris is the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party to run against Donald Trump. But word is on the street that she's not going to have such an easy fight against Donald Trump, who's looking like the Teflon Don. A lot of people think that we should support her because she is black. But I also have been seeing things online that people are concerned who are descendants of African slaves in America, that they are feeling a little some kind of way that Kamala Harris, if she is to win the presidency, would be taking that title of first black woman president of the United States, considering that Barack Obama, he is not the descendant of African slaves in America, his father being from Kenya and his mother being white. So technically he is a biracial person. Kamala Harris, her mother is Indian. Her father is Indian, Irish, and Jamaican. So she really is more Indian than she is black. But she has been using that black woman title when it is convenient for her to make gains. And there are black people who are concerned that she's taking the title as first black woman, that we are being gaslighted, as she is taking the title as the first black woman vice president and taking the title of possibly first black woman president when she really is not black. A lot of people are longing to see an actual descendant of African American slaves ascend to the president, vice president positions in this country, and that has yet to happen. But here is a video that I found online from the Officer Tatum channel, where he shows a montage of some concerns in the black community.
Of video content. And it's not every black person on planet Earth, but when they think they just gonna coast into this election, spitting on black people on the way in, it ain't gonna happen. See, this is the thing about the liberal. They think, because they're detached from reality, that every person with brown skin think alike, and every person with brown skin come from the same background, and every person from the brown skin with the brown skin somehow respect the other person just because they have brown skin. And what they don't realize, because they never grew up in the black community and nothing about black people, is that all black people don't accept all black people. In the black community, there's colorism. In the black community, if you married to a white woman, people don't think the same about you. Let's just keep it real. And Kamala Harris ain't black. I don't know what she didn't mix with. When she went in the Senate, they said the first Indian female senator. Well, how you Indian and black? You can't be switching sides. But I got a montage.
Another thing that people do not understand that's on the Democrat train is that the electorate has realigned. It's not going to be that easy just to get black voters to vote. Yes, there has been erosion of black voters saying that they were going to support Joe Biden as the nominee for the Democratic Party. They were either leaning towards sitting on the couch, voting for Trump, or Robert Kennedy in the upcoming election. But people have to understand that a lot of black voters are not just going to fall in line and just vote blue no matter who. And they are going to have to earn the support of those black voters that have fallen away. I don't think that it's enough just to put a black face. Well, can't really call her black face. She's a brown face because she is not technically black. She is multiracial, more Indian than anything else. But she's taking that banner of being a black woman and gaslighting black America and pressuring, and you're starting to see more and more pressure to support her and to vote for her and to get behind her online. I've seen a lot of people arguing online today, attacking each other. I mean, just viciously attacking each other because some people are saying that they don't want to support her. I've seen people dragging black men, other black men dragging black men. Why is it that when it comes to black people, we have to be threatened, insulted, called all kinds of names? Why can't we stick to policy? I just don't understand why the discussion isn't on policy and who we think is going to be the better candidate. You all have a vote, one vote per person, so you can vote for whoever you want to vote for, and I'm not here to say who I think you should vote for or don't vote for. That's your choice. But I just wanted to take the time in this video to explore the different trains of thoughts that are out here as we are looking at Kamala Harris being the Democratic Party's nominee. Even though the convention has not happened yet, she did raise a historic $81 million within 24 hours of the 81-year-old Biden dropping out. So that is a little ironic, but it is what it is. They are rallying behind Kamala, and 9 times out of 10, she will be the nominee. Now, rumor has it that Barack Obama did not endorse her because A, he does not believe that she's going to beat Trump, and B, social media and media rumors are having it that Michelle Obama is considering popping her boobs up in the ring and running for the nomination herself. So we know that there's a lot of things and a lot of moving parts going on behind the scenes. Let me know in the comments below, would you support Michelle Obama over Kamala Harris to run against Donald Trump? But let's get back to Officer Tatum's video.
As the people, you tell me if they playing or if they serious. People ain't really messing with them like that. Roll the clip.
Before y'all Democrats start trying to play the race card, I want y'all to understand this. Kamala is not black. Her kids is not black. Her husband is not black. She does not come from black culture. So don't tell me I got to support Kamala Harris because she black.
See, he said I didn't. He said it first. He said it first. Don't get mad at me. He said it.
The race pander from the Democratic Party got to stop. It's really that simple. Thank you for listening.
Of the White House, the commander-in-chief of the military, a black woman. Not only that, a mixed black married to a white man. Her pH balance is way off with that white. Man, you can't make me believe. Hell no. Man, Kamala Harris got a white boy. Her pH balance is off, and her mental instability got to be off. Her would have thrown off pH balance.
So a lot of black men were drugged today because a lot of black men are not supporting Kamala Harris, but it is what it is. You have some that are misogynistic as to why they don't want to see a woman president, period, irregardless of color. You have some that just are look at Kamala's track record and they just don't agree with her policies.
President Biden done dropped out of the race. He endorses Kamala Harris. Kamala have not done anything but laugh for the last 3.5 years. She ain't did nothing but laugh her way through the last 3.5 years. I mean, and the dialogue, the talks that she did do or have was so misconstrued, couldn't understand them. Most of the time, nobody knew what she was talking about. Y'all, come on. Is Kamala, is she the one? Is she who America wants to hold nuclear codes? To make decisions for war, send our sons and daughters to war? I mean, everything for the last 3.5 years been funny.
Ask me why I didn't vote for Kamala Harris and how could I be so anti-black woman? Let me show you.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
So are you standing in line in your chucks and purses?
So she does have to answer for her record, not only the policies that she co-signed with Biden under the Biden administration as being for her being the vice president. She also has to answer for her track record in California. Tulsi Gabbard, during that debate, she threw out these allegations, but Kamala did not dispute what Tulsi was saying. Also, she supposedly did not go for the death penalty in a lot of cases so she could feed that prison labor system. Didn't release some prisoners when they were supposed to, so they could continue in that prison labor system. She's going to have to explain herself. She's going to have to be confronted with her record. And, you know, of course, I'm a Black woman. I am actually a descendant of African slaves in America, but I would like to see a Black woman ascend to the presidency of the United States, of course, but, you know, she would have to really have a good track record. And we can't forget that Kamala has the track record that she has. The only reason why she is the vice president is because Jim Clyburn and a bunch of Black influencers, from Puffy to all kinds of people, insisted that Joe Biden choose a Black woman, and he chose her. So now she's going to have to get out on the campaign trail and really explain her record.
Girls thinking that she was a Black woman because she went to all the right schools. She pledged to right people because everybody knows that the Black vote is the unknown variant. That means that they truly show up for what it is that they support. And the Black community embraced and supported Kamala. When Kamala got in office, she told y'all that she wasn't Black, and she identified as otherwise. After she had utilized your educational system, your support, your fraternities, your sororities, and she turned around and gave you her kiss. Y'all gonna vote for her again? Inquiring minds.
Y'all women, you better not do that. Don't do it. Do not do it. Yeah, you seen Biden dropped out. Do not vote for no Kamala. You have no idea. I'm telling you now, you have no idea what you're gonna cause. Yes, we gonna stick together. That's an Indian woman. That ain't our people. Get away from that.
Over the next couple of weeks, because we really don't have that long before November 5th, I would implore you to register to vote if you're not. Make sure you are registered, even if you think you already are. Just double check, just to make sure you haven't been dropped from the rolls, or if you've moved, because obviously if you've moved, then you're going to have to make sure you're registered at your new address, because there are down ballot races that's district dependent. And if you've moved, you may have relocated into different districts. So I would encourage you. I'm not encouraging people to sit on the couch. I can totally understand if you want to do that. I don't encourage that, because these people are going to somebody's going to get elected. Up and down ticket, whatever is up for office, there are going to be candidates that are chosen. So, and you're going to have to live by the decisions that are made by that person. So you may as well go on and act like an adult and go on and research the candidates, look into them, and make some decisions. I'm not telling you who to vote for. That's just your choice. But I would say this: you need to be more policy driven than a person's gender, skin color, political party affiliation, because things are really real out here right now. You had a president that had to literally drop out of the race because of his cognitive decline. And he had been cognitively declining for a while, but the media, they kept spinning it, making it seem like he was okay. And a lot of people covered for him. And, I know a lot of you out here are suffering because of the high inflation prices, and, a lot of you feel some kind of way about the different wars that are going on in different parts of the world, particularly Ukraine and Israel. A lot of you are concerned about all the immigrants that have flooded up here into some of your communities. A lot of you are concerned about healthcare, education, all kinds of things. And whatever you're concerned about, that is your concern. And as a voter, you really need to make sure you're supporting someone that is more aligned with what you want to see. Are their policies something that you think is a solution to certain issues that we're dealing with, or that you in particular are dealing with? I mean, that's just the reality. You have voting rights in this country, and just because you're black, that does not mean you only can vote a certain way or for a certain party, so don't let anyone take that right away from you. And I've met Kamala Harris and so forth and so on. I've had the opportunity before she became the vice president to ask her, because I was concerned about the people flooding in from the southern border, and she just really didn't give me a good answer on that question when I had asked her. And as we see with so many people coming up here, when Trump talked about black jobs, I think we all know what he meant by that. He meant that when it's more people that are in the workforce competing for jobs in certain sectors that are predominantly jobs that a lot of black people have, you're going to have less black people getting those jobs. I've seen, even in my profession, a lot of jobs, they want you to speak different languages. The average black person don't speak Spanish and all of these different languages. So you really need to think about, and I went to a seminar the other day about the horrible underbelly of sex trafficking, labor trafficking, organ harvesting, kidnapping, ransom demands that this flow of illegal immigrants coming into the country is causing. It's just horrific what some of these children are being, and people are being adults are being subjected to, because they're coming in through the border illegally. They're attached to these cartels and things like that. So we have to create better pathways for people to come here legally, so they're not subjected to these things, especially these children. It's just horrible. But I wouldn't vote for somebody just because of their skin color or party affiliation. I just won't, because you have to think, if we're supposed to just support Kamala, and I'm just saying this because she said she wants to earn the votes. Okay, well, she's got to do that. She's got to earn it. And so does Trump. So does everybody that's on the ballot, up and down ticket. But, you can't say vote for someone just because they're quote unquote black, but then they can turn around and say they're not going to do anything for you because you're black, or I'm not going to do anything for black people. So I'm going to wrap this video up with this. You can agree with me. You could disagree with me. It's just my opinion, but I'm going to wrap it up with this.
Support reparations for black people.
Well, listen.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country, right?
So she just sat there and talked to that reporter as if she was Cluck Cluck the Duck Dum Dum. Have you benefited from the LIFT Act? I need to look up to see if the LIFT Act has even been passed or what that was. But I have a problem when you're supposed to be black. You can run down off the tip of your tongue all of the disparities that we experience in this country because we're black. And then you get in a position of power and you don't do anything specifically for black people, knowing that specifically because we're black, we are subjected to these discriminations that are causing these disparities. When they had the anti-Asian hate crime bill, they should have attached black people to that, because we have been subjected to anti-black hate crimes in this country from day one. So I just don't understand why people expect us to support them because they have a drip of black in them. But when we're asking for you to champion something that's going to give us a little relief from the foot off of our back, you don't want to do it. I'm just baffled why we as black people keep going for that. You have to hold these people accountable. Because if you're just going to vote for them anyway, you don't have any leverage. You know, I saw the other day there are some black women said, yeah, we're going to, Sonny Houston and all these other people, yeah, we're going to blow up the DNC. We're going to blow up the Democratic Party if they don't choose Kamala Harris. No, you're not. If they don't choose her to be the nominee, you're going to go and vote blue no matter who anyway. So, I mean, you back yourself into the corner. You don't really have any leverage when you do that, because they know if they don't give you what you want, if they don't really move any policies that's going to affect the masses, then they just give you tokenism and symbolism. If that's all you're looking for, hey, there were tokens in the master's house during slavery days. But where were most of the other blacks, especially the full-blooded ones? They were out in the field getting their ass beat. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below if you're so motivated to do so. This is Wonders of a Black Woman. Peace.